Today, we're taking you on our perfect, sun-drenched day trip to Pienza, the famous ideal city of the Renaissance. And yes, I promise we'll explain why it's called that. We'll be sharing the secret viewpoint, the ultimate lunch spot with a jaw-dropping view, and even a bonus detour for some amazing Florence outlet shopping and a massive, buttery Florentine steak dinner. We're talking rolling green hills, the real Val d'Orcia kind, ancient architecture, and the most delicious food Italy has to offer. If you're dreaming of a Tuscany travel guide that's less dusty history book and more, let's grab a coffee and go. You're in the right place. So, if you're ready for architecture, accidents, and a serious amount of Italian charm, grab your seat. Let's go. Okay, so first things first, the journey to Pienza is an experience in itself. We left early, aiming for a late morning arrival on a hot, sunny day in May. You have to drive through these famous rolling hills of Tuscany. It's that quintessential Italian landscape. Cypress trees lining the roads, endless vineyards, and fields of. I swear it was exactly the color green you'd imagine. Anyway, we made it. We parked right outside the historic center. Pienza is a ZTL, a limited traffic zone, which basically means no cars allowed unless you live there, or you want a massive fine. Good. Because you need to walk to appreciate this place. We took the paved alley toward the town, and honestly, the minute we stepped through, we were blown away by the gorgeous and colorful buildings and the vibrant flower boxes. Immediately, the street opened up with little cafés, boutique shops, and more flowers. Here's the thing about Pienza. It's tiny. It's located in the Val d'Orcia region of Tuscany, nestled between the towns of Montepulciano and Montalcino. Its population is less than 3,000 people. And yet, this minuscule town has an outsized historical significance. Let's break it down. Pienza was originally a village called Corso. But then in the mid-15th century, a guy named Silvio Piccolomini, who happened to be born there, became Pope Pius II. Naturally, the Pope thought, my hometown deserves a serious glow-up. He commissioned architect Bernardo Rossellino to transform it into the perfect, harmonious Renaissance city. And Pienza is one of the very first examples of Renaissance urban planning. It was a model for other cities. Pretty cool, right? That's why it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This is Piazza Pio II. Dominating the square is the Duomo di Pienza, the Cathedral of Santa Maria Assunta. It's a beautifully harmonious, trapezoidal square, Rossellino's masterpiece. On one side is the Palazzo Comunale, the town hall, with its stubby little clock tower. Right next to it is the magnificent Palazzo Piccolomini di Pienza, the Pope's own palace. It's an absolute stunner, with a loggia that overlooks the whole Val d'Orcia. And speaking of views, we decided to head behind the Duomo, and this, my friends, is my insider tip. There's this amazing alley, a narrow path that runs right along the back edge of the town. On our left, we had the solid, ancient stone walls of the town buildings. But then, on the right, Pure Tuscan bliss. Just experience it for yourself. The wall is low-cut, perfect for leaning on, and it opens up to the most spectacular, uninterrupted view of the valley below. You can see for miles, those iconic rolling hills, farmhouses nestled into the landscape, and Mount Amiata, a big extinct volcano, in the distance. My husband was quietly taking videos, probably planning for us to move here. And I could totally live here. We kept walking, making almost a full loop of the old town wall, until the path veered back into the main streets. It gave us a whole new perspective, somehow even more beautiful than the first. Pienza is located in the province of Siena, in Tuscany, perched over the Dorcha. Its historic center is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, since 1996. Because it's one of the earliest real-world attempts at a perfect Renaissance town. Eventually the path curved back into the town proper. Every new angle revealed another facade, another vista, another detail. The town is modest, it doesn't sprawl. We're not talking massive city blocks, but more like a concentrated gem. What this really means is, Pienza doesn't overwhelm you. It doesn't swallow you in crowds or sprawling suburbs. It welcomes you. The balance was perfect. Not deserted, but peaceful. Local residents chatting, visitors snapping photos, but you still heard birds and breeze. Corso il Rossellino is the backbone of Pienza's old town. It runs from Porta al Prato on the west side, through to Porta del Ciglio on the east. Stone-paved and narrow enough. You get glimpses of side alleys, the old walls, and the little arches, but wide enough to walk comfortably. Local specialty shops are everywhere, cheese stores, especially those selling pecorino di Pienza, in various ages, olive oil, honey and jams. If you follow your nose, you'll smell cheese, cured meats and fresh bread. We stopped by a gelateria, as I was starting to complain. You know, the kind of complaints that I always have, especially around lunchtime. This gelato was soft and creamy. However, it felt like the sudden rush of sugar, made me even hungrier. And walking past these amazing cafés, panini shops and trattorias, only made things worse. All I could think about now, was food. We had circled back to Piazza Pio II once more. It opens up from the Corso, there's the Duomo, Palazzo Piccolomini once more, and the Palazzo Comunale. Someone told me Colombini sells Pienza branded clothing. I saw jackets and scarves, subtle prints, referencing the town. I would not have expected to come across a fashion outlet in Pienza. And talking about outlets, I am going to bring you to one of the most famous luxury brands outlets later in this video. So stick around until the end, and do make sure that you hit the subscribe button if you have not done so yet. And please, do leave us a comment before moving on to another video. We would love to hear from you. Tell us where you are from, and what are your usual holiday plans, and where do you like to travel to? By the way, Pienza is famous for its pecorino cheese, so if you're into cheese, prepare to swoon. By this point, my stomach was roaring. I was ready for lunch. But my husband was not paying attention. He was hypnotized by the beauty of this town, and he kept talking about how we should seriously consider to move here. At that point, to be honest, I was not even paying attention anymore. Suddenly I turned back at him and smiled. Then I started to walk away, towards something I have just noticed. We were walking along Via del Balzello, and right there, we reached a place, and the name just called to me. La Terrazza del Chiostro. I didn't even wait. I marched right in and left him outside to fend for himself, with his iPhone. I just knew this was the spot. I walked straight to the waiter and requested for a table, for lunch. Oh my goodness, this place is magnificent. It's actually part of the Reale Il Chiostro di Pienza Hotel. I snagged an outdoor table on the terrace, and the view, it was simply breathtaking. It was the same view as the back alley, but now, with wine and antipasti to come. La Terrazza del Chiostro is located in a former Franciscan convent from the 13th century. While waiting for our food, my husband wandered into the cloister, which is still part of the same hotel complex. It had capturing interior arches, stone walkways, interplay of light and shadow. He grabbed some shots of the beautiful cloister inside. It's connected to the charming Chiesa di San Francesco next door. And we'll pop in there in a sec. The terrace view is spectacular, overlooking the Dorcha Valley, hills stepping downwards, trees dotted like emeralds. We ordered a delicious multi-course lunch. Antipasti, bread, local specialties, and of course wine, because we were in Tuscany, right? I remember thinking. This moment, the food, the view, and the warm breeze, it's like a memory I'll always come back to. We had an incredible meal, with crusty bread, local pecorino, and a lovely glass of local wine. Tell me if you'd dare to try pecorino from Pienza. It's strong. It was the perfect Tuscan lunch. After that incredible meal, we felt renewed. We took a shortcut through the hotel's cloister, a beautiful, serene space, to get to the Chiesa di San Francesco. This church dates back to the 13th century, making it one of the oldest Franciscan buildings in Italy. The interior is modest, definitely more rustic than the Duomo. It's single nave, with a simple, powerful atmosphere. What's special is that it still has some 14th century frescoes depicting the life of Saint Francis. Then, we popped into the Duomo di Pienza, right next door, for a quick visit. That white Renaissance facade doesn't prepare you for the Hallenkirche interior. It's high, light, and almost airy. It's just so fascinating how Pope Pius II blended his Italian roots with his German travels. Pienza fills your soul with timeless beauty. Cobblestone charm, pecorino scent, and Renaissance calm. This alley, that will lead us back to our car, is one of my most favorite memories, whenever someone mentions Pienza. And I am sure you know why. But just a short drive away, Tuscany flips the script. From medieval streets to modern luxury. Our next stop. The Mall Firenze, where rolling hills meet designer dreams. So follow me, it's time to trade stone lanes for shopping lanes at the Mall Firenze. The drive from Pienza to the mall is roughly 100 kilometers, and this will take us an hour and a half easily. But driving through this amazing stretch of rural Tuscany, with the vineyards, fields, olive groves, gently sloping hills, felt like we breezed through it. My husband avoided the motorways, as we wanted to enjoy the views. It took us 30 minutes longer, but it was 30 minutes that we will never regret, as it felt like driving in a movie. So, welcome to the Mall Firenze. This is Tuscany's fashion playground, where rolling hills meet runway dreams. And I am really not exaggerating it. Imagine stepping out of the vineyards into a world lined with Gucci, Prada, and Valentino, all whispering your name, with discounts that make it slightly easier to justify. The place is elegant but not pretentious. It's open air, with olive trees, designer stores, and cafés tucked between them. There was no crowd after 6 p.m. and we had the place almost all to ourselves. So, now was the time to spend some serious money. I checked out my favorite brands, and let me tell you ladies, if you want to shop here, you need half a day. But my husband had planned it perfectly, making sure that I only had 1 hour plus, until closing time. So, I did not manage to score anything. But it's fine, I had a great time today. I had the perfect lunch, in the perfect town. And now for revenge, I am going to make him spend on a 1 kilo Florentine steak, for dinner. We landed at Osteria da Giusti for dinner. There, I devoured a Florentine steak. I swear I ate 1.5 kilograms, though he claims I exaggerated. Bread and salad on the side. It was the perfect ending to a day that started with Renaissance calm and ended in retail therapy. I looked at him and thought, wow. What a day. Next up, maybe we'll head north, to Milan, where style never sleeps, and of course, Lake Como, that dreamy mirror of mountains and villas you've probably seen in 100 movies. If you enjoyed coming along, hit that like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell for more journeys.